ആലയം കരുണാലയം നമാമി ഭഗവത്പാദം ശങ്കരം ലോകശങ്കരം ശങ്കരം ശങ്കരാചാര്യം കേശവം ബാത്തരായണം സൂത്രഭാഷ്യകൃതൗ വന്ദേ ഭഗവന്തൗ പുനഃ പുനഃ സദാശിവസമാരംഭാം ശങ്കരാചാര്യമധ്യമാം അസ്മദാചാര്യപര്യന്താം വന്ദേ ഗുരുപരമ്പരാം. ഈശ്വരോ ഗുരുരാത്മേതി മൂർത്തിഭേദവിഭാഗിനേ വ്യോമവത് വ്യാപ്തദേഹായ ദക്ഷിണാമൂർത്തയേ നമഃ. ഉകാരോ അന്ധകാരോ വൈ ഋകാരസ്തന്നിവർത്തകഃ അന്ധകാരനിരോധിത്വാത് ഗുരുരിത്യഭിധീയത്തെ. ഓം സഹനാവവതു സഹനൗ ഭുനക്തു സഹ വീര്യം കരവാവഹൈ തേജസ്വിനാവധീതമസ്തു മാ വിദ്വിഷാവഹൈ. ഓം ശാന്തി ശാന്തി ശാന്തി. ഓം ഭദ്രം കർണേഭിഃ ശൃണുയാമ ഭദ്രം പശ്യേമാക്ഷഭിർയജത്രാഃ സ്ഥിരൈരംഗൈഃ സുഷ്ഠുവാംസസ്തനൂഭിഃ വ്യശേമ ദേവഹിതം യദായുഃ. സ്വസ്തി ന ഇന്ദ്രോ വൃത്തശ്രവാഃ സ്വസ്തി നഃ പൂഷാ വിശ്വവേദാഃ സ്വസ്തി നസ്താക്ഷ്യോ അരിഷ്ടനേമിഃ സ്വസ്തി നോ ബൃഹസ്പതിർദധാതു. ഓം ശാന്തി ശാന്തി ശാന്തി. ഓം പ്രജ്ഞാനാം ശുപ്രധാനൈ സ്ഥിരചരനികരവ്യാപ്തിഭിർവ്യാപ്യ ലോകാൻ ഭുക്ത്വാ ഭോഗാൻ സ്തവിഷ്ഠാൻ പുനരഭിധിഷണോദ്ഭാസിതാൻ കാമജന്യാൻ പീത്വാ സർവാൻ വിശേഷാൻ സുവിധി മധുരഭും മായയാ ഭോജയന്നഃ. മായാ സംജ്ഞാസ്തുരിയം പരമമൃതമജം ബ്രഹ്മയത്തന്നതോസ്മി. യോ വിശ്വാത്മാ വിധിജ വിഷയാൻ പ്രാശ്യ ഭോഗാൻ സ്തവിഷ്ഠാൻ പശ്ചാച്ഛാന്യാൻ സുമിതി വിഭവാൻ ജ്യോതിഷാ സ്വേന സൂക്ഷ്മാൻ സർവാനേതാൻ പുനരഭിശനൈ സ്വാത്മനി സ്ഥാപയിത്വാ ഹിത്വാ സർവാൻ വിശേഷാൻ വിഗത ഗുണഗണഃ പാർത്ഥ സൗനസ്തുരീയഃ. We are in the last verse of the Gaudapada kārikā, second section, what we call Vaithatya Prakaranam, and we are in the last two sentences of the commentary of Adi Shankara. I will read the verse and I will give you that last two sentences of the meaning of the last two sentences of the commentary of Adi Shankara. The verse is like this. Tattvamadhyatmikam drishtva tattvam drishtva tu bhahyataha tatvibhutastata ramaha tattvat aprachyuto bhavet. Seeing, whenever a word called drishtva is oftenly quoted in all the Shruti Upanishads, seeing, after seeing. The word seeing should be understood after knowing. Whenever the verb know comes in the picture, it means that Shastram, the traditional text called Upanishad, and the person who presents this text as it is, what we call Guru, the traditional teacher, they will also come in the picture. So, whenever the word knowing comes into picture, the knowing can only by the traditional teacher Guru, by presenting the text as it is. So, knowing about oneself, inside oneself, at the same time knowing about the external world, that the division called external and internal is only a formal way of teaching. There is no such division from the ultimate standpoint. The one and only consciousness remain in and through, externally and internally. So inside the body or outside the body or the universe or the individual, we can take in any way. Knowing about the universe and knowing about the individual, both the secrets are one. The one and only consciousness pervading in the form of individual, the one and only consciousness appearing in the form of universe. Knowing that properly, after studying under a proper teacher, what he will become. He knows his reality, Tatvi Bhutaha, that he is the truth which is free from death and birth, which is free from limitations, which is free from worries, which is free from all kinds of grief and sadness. This understanding may take a lot of time because we are deep-rooted with the body consciousness that I have limitation. Whenever we accept our limitation, we will be surrounded by worries, pain, and also different types of disturbances. So, from the standpoint of ultimate reality, there is no limitation. That is the truth. That is why Tattvi Bhutaha, giving up all kinds of body illusion and coming into the firm understanding of myself as consciousness, then one who revels on this knowledge, Tada Ramaha, and also never get deviated, Tattvad Aprachyuto Bhavet. May one always be aware of oneself that I am not this body or mind, I am the consciousness which is free from all kinds of worldly distractions. So, Tattvad Aprachyuto Bhavet. May one always be settled in one's own nature and never get deviated from that vision. This was the meaning, and we are entering to the last two sentences of commentary. The same idea, that is, Atmanaha Eka Rupatvat Swarupa Prachavana Asambhavacha. The consciousness which don't have any division. There is no small consciousness from the standpoint of an atom. There is no big consciousness from the standpoint of an elephant. The body may differ. The content is one and the same. That is why we don't say plural for the water. Ocean is also water. A dewdrop is also water. There is no plural for water. Similarly, hundred and thousands of ants, hundred or thousands of ants only constitute one single consciousness. Similarly, all the planets, all the stars, the entire solar system, or the entire Milky Way, whatever we come across in the Milky Way, the entire universe will constitute one single consciousness. That is what is being told here. Atmanaha, the soul which is myself, I am using the word soul sometimes for the sake of understanding of the people who already listened the yoga classes or some other teachings. There in their philosophy, the self is presented in the term soul. That is why I am using purposefully sometimes soul. Actually, the self is equal to Brahman. The self is equal to the individual truth. That individual truth, Ekarupatvat, being one and the same everywhere in the form of consciousness, there is no deviation possible from the consciousness towards some other things, because everything being the consciousness. Surupa Prachavana Asambhavacha. When you see the truth in everywhere, Bhagavad Gita has a very beautiful verse in the second chapter. Sarvata Sampluta Udakasthaniyam. Many acharyas, traditional teachers, quote that verse often. When a person witness everywhere covered with water, in the temples in Kerala, morning is a formal way of giving some devotion to the deity by abhisheka, pouring the water in the deity. As to when we take bath in the morning, similarly, the abhisheka is done. That water should be taken from the well. A well will be there for a temple only for the use of the deity. Suppose there are few temples in Kerala where I live. In the rainy season, the entire temple will be filled with water. There is no difference between well and the place where we walk. Up to the deity, the water will be filled. Then there is no point of taking water from the well. Right from the deity, you can take the water, because the well is also came into the well is also filled with water, and that level everywhere surrounded by water. There is no appearance or separate form of well there. Everywhere when the water is filled, there is no difference in well or some other place. The same idea is brought by Lord Krishna. Tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. Sarvata sampludodage. When the water is filled everywhere, there is no point of taking the water from the well, because well is also disappeared when the water gets filled to the level of well. Similarly, from the standpoint of reality, when you look at the world, you never see something attractive or something to be hate, because everything will be resolved into one single consciousness. There is no name and form. So, an enlightened person never see anything glory in a beautiful thing or anything defects in an unattractive thing. All are one single consciousness. So, he don't have any benefit of receiving an attractive thing. He don't have any problem to receive an unattractive thing also. Everything is one single entity, nothing but consciousness. When he see everything is consciousness, the Brahman, he will be enjoying everything in the world in the form of Brahman. Not for the sake of an individual happiness by getting some object and some external happiness we usually come across. Similarly, an enlightened person will not be craving for an external happiness through some particular thing. He himself reveling. Tada Ramaha. Because the source of all happiness is nothing but this consciousness. And he is in the form of consciousness now. Even though he will be appearing in a body for the others, he knows that this body is a superimposition on the consciousness. I will not stick with the body mind sense complex. My body notion has gone forever. When I came to know I am this Brahman, then he will be always Brahman and he will respond from this knowledge. And Sada eva Brahma Asmi iti aprachyutaha bhavet. That knowledge that I am Brahman, I am not human body, I am not any other thing other than Brahman. When this idea becomes firm, becomes strong, by daily practicing the same idea, he will be aprachyudaha, no deviation from this truth. By practicing, by putting effort, by withdrawing the senses from the external world, this idea will become more firm and strong. Thus, this person is no more a human being. Even though he is appearing as a human being, he is the one and only consciousness called Brahman. Tatvad, Tatvad sa aprachyuta atmatartva darshinaha bhavet iti abhiprayaha. Bhavet tatvad at asa aprachyutat aprachyuta atmatattva darshanaha bhavet iti abhipraya. Sada eva Brahma asmi iti aprachyutaha bhavet. Atatvad sada aprachyuta atmatattva darshanaha bhavet iti abhipraya. When the person get the idea or the truth about oneself, he will never get deviated because this idea is more strong. The original knowledge about me will surpass the fake knowledge about me. The genuine I will take into my life. The misidentification I will give up in my life. The genuine idea about myself is a fact. I'm consciousness. I'm not human body. I'm not a son. I'm not a daughter. I'm not an old woman. I'm not a wife. All these mistaken ideas are only for the sake of empirical dealing. Empirical dealing should continue as long as the body continues. But the wise person never think that I am this body. Let them carry my ideas because they are unenlightened. For them, I am an old man, I'm an old woman, I am a wife, I'm a teacher, I'm a businessman. These ideas are only for the ignorant people. Let them carry with that idea. We need that to interact with the people. We cannot interact with people that I am Atman. You call me Atman. It is not possible. It is not practical. So let them carry all this idea. But from me, all that ideas are gone. That is called aprachyuto bhavet iti abhiprayaha. Tattva darshaha bhavet. May one see the truth in and through whenever it is in the in the world, when you are dealing with the world, when you are completely away from the world, when you are eating, when you are drinking, when you are sleeping, only this idea should continue. Aprachutaha means never get deviated from the Atma Tattvam towards the body consciousness. Then, from the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he quotes another verse. I think 5th chapter, 17th verse or something. Here it is told like that, Shunichai Vashwapakecha. The verse will be like this. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shunichai Vashwapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. One who got the knowledge about the Brahman and living an ascetic life. In him also, this is the topmost order in the world, topmost order in the world, having the knowledge and living a life in tune with the knowledge. Those people are called Vidya Vinaya Sampannaha. Brahmane, who do ritualistic portion for the others and for the sake of nature, they are called Brahmins. They study properly about the first portion of the Vedas and they do rituals. They do proper way of dealing with the world. They will satisfy the entire nature, and through rituals they will also satisfy the different devatas who give water, air, fire, etc., etc. These people are also important category in this empirical world. Brahmane, Gavi, in the cow, in the Brahmins, in the wise person, Hastini, in the elephant, Shuni, in the dog, Shwapagaha, a person who deal with the inferior activities. Even though it is called a dog eater, Shwapagaha means a person who cook meat and eat. Eating meat seems to be an inferior activity according to the Shruti, because roots and fruits are the main ingredients or main diet of a wise person. Of course, grains came into our picture because once upon a time, grains are not our part of a human life. In my idea, fruits cannot keep for 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month. Even the roots cannot keep after taking from the earth. You cannot keep the root for 1 week or 1 month. You should cook immediately or within 2 days. If you keep in the dry place, or it will dry the water and it will be some other taste. When the society, group of people started living together, human beings are like that, correct? They want to preserve their food for a length of time. They want to keep storage of their food. Then the idea they extended towards the grains. Thus, we are cultivating grains as our main diet now. In the olden days, when I say olden days, means 8,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago, we were eating fruits and roots, which are the main diet of a human being. It will be very nutrition and also easy to digest, and also it will not harm the body. Then grains comes into picture. Grains came into picture because storage is possible. It's a right idea of myself and some Ayurvedic doctor who encouraged me. You are right. And he also he also told like that. That is why we keep grains for a length of time. We can keep for 1 month, 2 months. Our rice, when we buy, we don't buy quarter kg or 1 kg. We buy 10 kg so that it will long for a month. Thus, the grains came into picture. I suppose. Okay. So the person who eat meat, the dog, the wise person, the person who is concentrated on ritualistic portion, on the cow, on the elephant, the body limitations are not considered by the wise. They only see the consciousness which is in the form of cow, the same consciousness which is in the form of elephant, the same consciousness in the form of enlightened person, the same consciousness who is in the form of a person who is called a Brahmana, the same consciousness which is in the form of dog and also in the form of a dog eater. The consciousness is the only view for a wise when he sees different types of people in this empirical world. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shunichai Vashwapagecha Pantita Samadarshana. 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. I think it is 17 or 18. The wise will be always looking towards the Brahman in and through in all names and forms. This is the idea by presenting the inferior things and by presenting the superior things of the world. And also, in another verse also he quotes now, Samam Sarveshu Bhudeshu Ityadi Smritehe. This is also from Bhagavad Gita. Everything, even though he see Tishtandam Parameshwaram, the consciousness which is remaining in different types, different names and forms, he only see that only, that consciousness only. And it is equal in everything. I already mentioned you, in an ant or in an elephant, in a grass piece, this consciousness is one and the same. The person who sees this consciousness in everything, and he is the person who understood the truth properly. Yaf pashyati sapashyati. Those who have this vision, even though when they see different names and forms, one who have this vision, in spite of all different names and forms, he is an enlightened one. He is a liberated person. Ityadi smritehe. Remember, the Shankara, the commentator, always quotes the same sentences in the Smriti or Smriti from the Upanishads or from the Bhagavad Gita in order to justify the words of Gaudapada kārikā. Every work, he never takes somebody's words and quotes. He only takes the words from the sentence, words or sentences from Bhagavad Gita or from other Upanishads. Just thus the truth is being justified, clear. Idi Shri Govinda Bhagavad Pujyapada Shishyasya Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharyasya Shankara Bhagavataha Kritau Gaudapadiya Agama Shastra Bhashye Vaitatyakyam Dvitiyam Prakaranam. Thus, we covered, we will finish the second section of Gaudapada kārikā. Now we will go to the third section of Gaudapada kārikā. We need some introduction. First we will read the verse and we will give the introduction. Atha Gaudapadiya kārikā su Advaita Akyam Tritiyam Prakaranam. Now the third section of Gaudapada kārikā, and it has a name called Advaita Prakaranam, containing 48 verses. We already came across the first section, which has a name called Agama Prakaranam. In the Agama Prakaranam, in that section, we elaborately discussed about the Om, which is presented by the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad. Upanishad has another name called Agamam. And from that Agamam, Omkara we got. Then the Omkara being the subject matter in the first section, it got the name called Agamam, Agama Prakaranam, a section which deal with the Omkara, which he has a very elaborated and deep understanding. And we saw the Agama Prakaranam. And in the second section, Vaithatyam, Vithata, the errors regarding the human interaction, how this creation go day by day, moves day by day. Error. Human error is discussed properly from different standpoints. In Shruti, in the Upanishad, or the person who explained the Upanishad, they say a fact should be understood from the standpoint of Shruti. Shruti means Upanishadic view or the vision of the Vedantic text. A fact should be understood. Yukti, even though a fact is told in the Upanishad, whether it is tenable, whether it is possible, whether it is logical, this is also should be properly understood. Because suppose the Shruti makes a statement like this: the fish lives in the land. This is a Shruti statement. For example, there is no such statement. For your sake of understanding, I made a statement. A fish lives in the land and in the desert. Suppose, if there is a sentence like this in the Shruti, we cannot just eat and digest it. Like in other religions, don't question, accept it. Not like that in Shrutis. If a statement is made by the Shruti, the Upanishad, that statement should be understood properly by the listener through logic, whether it is tenable, whether it is possible, whether it is logical, practical. So, if I listen a text like a statement like this, fish lives in the land and in the desert. This is not possible. This is not logical. There is no yukti in this statement. So, an Upanishadic statement should be understood logically. There is no such statement like this, a fish lives in the pond like that. I made this statement for our understanding. A statement which is made by the Upanishad should be logical always. This is what yukti. Because my experiences are against the statements made by the Upanishad from in the beginning. I am subject to death and birth. But the Shruti makes a statement that Ajaha, Amaraha, Amrdasya Putraha. Kathopanishad says very beautiful. We are immortal. We are birthless. How these words can be understood logically? A question arises. That is why the teaching of a traditional teacher is important. Just by reading the verse or words, we cannot understand the entire meaning. A meaning should be understood in two ways. Vachikam, verbal or worldly meaning, just it appears as it is. Then intended meaning, lakshanam. What is intended by that sentence? Venghyartham in Sanskrit. Lakshanartham or other word. What this statement intended, as though we make a statement, that statement, if you roughly translated, the meaning is not possible for the person who is listening. For example, if you are traveling in a bus and you put the head outside, and there is a bystander near to you sitting in the seat, and he is also completely looking at you. You put the head and looking towards outside. But the bystander who is nearby, sitting in your seat, saw that there is a vehicle coming directly towards you. Then he told you, head, head, head. It means that please withdraw your head inside to the bus. This is called intended meaning. Even though he just made a word called head, the intention is please be careful, don't put the head outside the bus because there are vehicles crossing, it may hit you. That is why intended meanings are important. So, intended meaning also should be understood. And the verbal meaning of their sentences also to be understood properly. Thus, the teaching became more important in the tradition. So here, Shruti Yukti, even though a sentence is made by the Upanishad, it should fit logically into my mind. Yukti, Shruti, Yukti. And there is another word, Anubhavam. A fact should be assimilated by me, or a fact should be practically take place in my life. In rough words, I am translating for your sake of understanding. A knowledge cannot be impractical. It should be assimilated by me, or that knowledge should be very much helpful in my life. Anubhavam. Even though Anubhavam means experience, the intended meaning is Whenever I listen to Upanishad, the Upanishadic words and the teachings should be very much helpful in my daily life. It should get connected to my daily life. It should help me. Thus, I am with that knowledge. I became one with that knowledge which I listened. This is called experience. So anything when you listen from the Upanishad is called Shruti. When you listen something, it should be logically fit inside your mind. It is called Yukti. And that Yukti, that statement which is logically ready to fit in your mind, should be available in and through your life to help you, and it should serve the purpose of your life. The assimilation of that knowledge which you listened should be there, should happen. Then these three facts are coming in one single alignment. Shruti, Yukti, Anubhavam. About anything which you listen in your life should happen. So that logic is also very important in order to understand a thing in one's life. The presence of the air is not visible for my eyes, but by breathing, I confirm there is a presence of air in the atmosphere. Similarly, I cannot see the taste of a fruit, but I can experience the taste of the fruit by biting it. The way you understand the world is important. The same importance is there. Understanding the sentences in a logical way will be very much helpful to assimilate or to put in practical in one's life. So logically understanding the God and the me are one and the same consciousness. This is called Advaita Prakaranam mentioned here for this purpose only. Logically, I need to understand what I listened. The error is taken care of by the second chapter. Omkara is being explained in the first chapter, which is presented in the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad. Now, logically, I should understand the oneness of my nature. So, logic will be the topic in the third prakarana. And we are going to deal the third prakarana. I will read the words and will give you the basic. There should be an infrastructure to understand this verse. I will give you that. Atha Gaudapadiya kārikāyām Advaidākhyam Tritiyam Prakaranam. We are going to see the third section of Gaudapada kārikā by seeking the blessings of the traditional teachers. Upasana ashrito dharmo jate brahmani vartate pragutpatte rajam sarvam tenasau kripanas smritaha. Upasana ashrito dharmo jate brahmani vartate pragutpatte rajam sarvam Tenasau Kripana Smritaha. We have 4 Vedas, and the entire Vedas are divided into 2 portions of action, karma kanda or ritualistic portion of knowledge, jnana kanda, where the intrinsic nature of an individual is presented. So, 2 sections or 2 divisions are there in the entire Vedas. First portion, Karma Kanda, deals with different types of activities, and one group of activities are called Upasana. Upasana is a type of meditation for the sake of accomplishing certain things or reaching some worlds, and it is presented in the first portion. Mainly, by doing this type of upasana meditations, a person will reach the desired places or will reach to the deity which is desired by the the person who do meditation. Even the prayers conducting in the church is a type of meditation. Your beliefs will become more strong through meditation. And according to your beliefs, you will reach that particular portion. Similarly, the prayers which are conducted in the mosques, the prayers which are conducted in the monasteries of Buddhists, or anywhere, different types of prayers are conducted. All these prayers will fall under meditations. Your beliefs will become more strong in meditation. And according to your beliefs, you will accomplish the desired result. That is why Upasana. In Shankara explains about Upasana in his commentary in Bhagavad Gita. Sitting near to the desired deity and thinking the desired deity like the flow of an oil from one vessel coming down. The flow of the vessel of the fluid or liquid will be very thin and it will not break, and it will be in the same manner it will get dropped from a vessel. If it is passing through a small narrow hole, in a small thin line it will fall as though it is a narrow line. This is how the upasana should be taken care of, or the upasana should be. Remembering the deity's name and chanting the proper mantra without speed or without slow and in a same manner. This is called upasana. Tailadharavat, he says, a flow of an oil from a pot towards down in through a small hole. That should be the way of upasana without having any kind of impatience. If you want to chant a name for 108 times, you need to sit in a proper place and your mind should be very calm and quiet so that you can chant the mantra without any short temper or impatience. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Thus, continuously you are chanting the deity's name properly. A type of meditation. Concentrating with your senses towards the desired deity. It can be Jesus, it can be Allah, it can be a Buddha, whatever it may be. These are all meditations. Gaudapada Acharya wants to make sure that a jiva who is doing meditation cannot be strayed from the spiritual pursuit. For what purpose the meditation is meant for? What result you should seek? What are the fallacies in meditation? How the meditation should be? All these things are involved in understanding this verse. I will give you a simple meaning, and I will more infrastructure we have to build up. Entire karma kanda is meant for the sake of the purification of mind. This is the vision of an enlightened person. Any action which you pick up from the karma kanda, the portion of rituals, is meant for the purification of mind. Giving up the selfish ideas and only keeping one single idea while doing the rituals. What is the idea? I don't expect anything from the all-pervading deity. I just want to satisfy this all-pervading deity. I do this properly, sincerely. This is the way of doing a meditation or a ritual. And it is called Nishkama Karma. An action without expecting any results will give more results. It will purify the mind and make ready to listen the knowledge about oneself. And it will make you a qualified person who can listen and understand from the traditional teacher about the reality. Adhikaritvam, giving the qualification to listen the biggest thing in the world. When you keep a small idea of gaining something in the world by doing this ritual, that will not help you to become a purified heart. Purification means you are not a person who go behind the worldly object. We are not a jealousy. We don't hate people. We don't hate the entire universe. We will be always accommodating others. We don't say lies. All these things come together is called purification of mind. All the values, universal values, donation, giving something what I have more in my life. It can be gold, it can be money, it can be clothes, it can be food, anything. Because Lord is in front of me. I'm not a giver, He's not a taker. Whenever you have this mind and you give something towards somebody who will respect your things, what you give, that will be worthy. That will purify your mind. Giving something towards good people who is needed, so that dhanam, a universal value. We cannot be always a consumer in this world. That role is over after studying the Shastra. You are not a consumer. You are a donor in the world. Always you are ready to help somebody or ready to give something for somebody without their ask. This type of mentality will make you more purified. It will bring more purification in the heart. You are not jealous. Of course, I know that all people who are listening me are not jealous of anybody. Jealousy is something sprout from the limitation of oneself. You keep some limitation inside your mind. From that, jealousy sprout. When you accommodate others, Lord is in the form of this thing. I don't have any jealous because I am also Lord. Individuality you forget. You see only the consciousness through the tunnel vision given by the scriptures. Thus, all these values will promote a person to get purified in the day-to-day life. Oh, so the entire portion, Karma Kanta, is meant for the purification of an individual from the perspective point of an adhikari, qualified person. He is not interested in any personal benefits by doing a meditation or a prayer given in the first portion of Vedas. So upasanas, the meditation, cannot be deviated, cannot be misunderstood. In this verse, how a life, a soul, a person, an individual, misunderstood the upasana, the meditation, is being discussed, is being presented. Mostly the people consider the meditation is gaining for something, or becoming something, or reaching some places. May one not get through these ideas. This is the content of this verse. And we are going to discuss more about this verse in the next class. Om Susti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahimmahisha Gobrahmanebhya Shupavastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshadu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Kshobarahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhaved Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om